Scorpio, welcome to your reading for the year of 2016. And this video is for Scorpios who are born between October 23rd and November 1st. I'm splitting every single sign up into three parts, the decans of astrology, more or less, about every 10 days. Hopefully this will make the readings a little bit more accurate for each sign for the new year. So that's why I'm doing that. If you weren't born between those days, you can just check out the description below. I have the other two videos for Scorpio with the dates, the birth dates after them, so you can find those videos down there. And I've been telling every sign, feel free to watch all three videos, by the way. They'll all probably have pieces that will kind of resonate with you, but probably this video if you were born between, again, the 23rd of October or the 1st of November, this will probably resonate with you the most. Having said that, the first card you have is the Eight of Spades for those people. And Eight of Spades is a card of it's a card of experiencing blocks, being blocked, not being able to move forward. I would say that this is mostly in your past. You've already experienced this. It's coming up first. So I think that what the card's really saying is you're kind of being given a chance to blast past some blocks this year, to really move forward. If you look at the birth card meaning of the Eight of Spades, it means, part of its meaning is the ability to move mountains. That's the part of the ability here with this card. So there's no doubt about it. You've been through some challenges, but you can move those mountains if you work really hard and try to move far ahead with whatever it is that you are doing. This card can also make us feel like a little bit restless, a little bit like we want to move forward more. And so actually that's not such a bad thing, because that can be what really motivates us to move forward, like to just blast through stuff and not think about it. Is that kind of like, fire, that like anger inside of us that pushes us really hard because we're so sick of being stuck. That can be the thing that kind of blasts down that last obstacle. And that's what this card says. So don't be afraid of that. If you feel like that, if you feel like you just like really are, wanting to move forward in a very strong way, do it. Allow that. Everybody's afraid of anger for some reason, but use that anger, transmute it, and use it to kind of move you forward in life with this card. Like I said, I'm feeling most of the bad energy, if you want to call it that, last year, being stuck, all of that. This year, I think you really can move forward. Next, you have the Joker card. Joker is one of my favorite cards. It represents the ability to juggle a lot of things. The Joker is typically juggling on a traditional deck. It's the ability to handle a lot. I frequently say that if normal people were to have to do the amount of work that the Joker does and have to handle what the Joker can handle, they would have a mental breakdown. They wouldn't be able to handle it. So you can handle a lot this year with this energy. You can handle doing a lot, having a lot put on your plate. All of that comes up, and you can really do a lot with the Joker. The Joker, I will say, and you have a card that represents this as well, but the Joker can be heavily judged at work. So just be aware of that. If you have a job, or even if you have a business, you could get judged by your employees with this card. Just don't listen to them. Because what happens with the Joker is, Jokers think like all over the place. They think in a bunch of different places. But that's actually something that makes them thrive. They thrive under chaos. So you will thrive under chaos at work with this energy. But everybody else is just like point A, point B. Everybody is point A, point B, except for people who are Joker people. So everybody at work or at your place of business will be looking at you and be like, oh my God, that person's so scattered. They don't know what they're doing. Because to them, they only understand point A, point B. They don't understand point A, point Z, B, Z, C, E, all over the place. They don't understand that. But what always happens is always like 6 months down the road, everything comes together for you. And you put all your projects together, or you complete all your projects, whatever you had to do. And you can get like 30 things done while that in the same amount of time it takes everybody else at your work or at your business to do one thing. And not only that, you can do all 30 things to a high degree of accuracy, while everybody else is like their projects are like half complete or not complete at all. So people always end up eating their words like down the road with a Joker, because you can do so much and they only can do so little. And when that time comes, they'll be like, how the heck did you get all that done? It's this energy right here. It gives you a lot to get done. If you don't have a job, by the way, and you don't need to work or whatever the case may be, you can use this energy in other areas of your life, for doing even home-based projects or things with your hobbies, or anything. You can use this kind of like all over the place, getting a lot done energy to really make some forward movements wherever you want to in life, even love, it doesn't matter. Next, you have the Five of Diamonds, the birth of your ideas. The Joker is extremely entrepreneurial as well. I will say that Joker people typically never work for anybody. I mean, they always end up having careers, but they always end up quitting and starting their own thing because they don't, the whole structure and all of that doesn't mix well with a Joker. So a lot of you could be starting a business this year or already have a business. Five of Diamonds is a great card for this because Five of Diamonds strengthens our ideas. It's a birth card, and it's birthing ideas. Any ideas you have for business, take advantage of them with this card. Any ideas you have for, you know, for even hobbies, like I said, any ideas you have, use this card because this card it's an ideas card. It's all about using your ideas to move you forward in life and to make things happen. It's a great time to start new projects with this card, a great time to start new businesses. This card brings a lot with us. We always experience a great deal of pain before we get this card, so if you've been challenged, just know that moving forward, there's a lot more success and stuff with this card, again, because there's usually a good deal of pain before getting a card like the Five of Diamonds. It's all these challenges we have to go through and stuff, but it ultimately leads us to exactly what we're supposed to be doing, and it's interesting because it's followed up by the Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades knows exactly what she's supposed to be doing. So I really think that this Five of Diamonds that's coming in here for 2016 has really kind of got you really focused on exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Queen of Spades, she's kind of like, the strongest queen that there is, really, and she's the most like forward and most aggressive, and she really can do almost anything. I sometimes I call her like the jumping queen because she'll just jump right into the darkness. And sometimes that's what this card involves. Sometimes you'll be presented with a new opportunity in your life, or you'll be starting something new and you'll be a little bit afraid to kind of go forward. But with this Queen of Spades, it's like just jump, just go, and just start whatever it is that you're afraid to do because you can become really successful under this card. But the Queen of Spades, she also knows like the little details of everything that's happening. She just knows all the little like details, and she knows exactly what she needs to do. So it can be about knowing details that are important to where you're headed. But again, you don't need to know like what the other side looks like, if that makes any sense. Next, you do have the Two of Spades, which can mean a breakup in your life. It can be a breakup. The lower numbered cards, I always say, are pretty weak, so you're usually not too upset about it. So if you experience a breakup, probably won't be that big of a deal. So don't worry about that. It can also be you leaving a job or leaving a position or something, something separating from your life. But just know, again, if those things happen, it doesn't feel like you're going to be too upset about it. So, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal. On the other hand, Two of Spades can represent great creativity, needing to use creativity to overcome obstacles. People who get the Two of Spades are usually great at leadership positions as well. So if you're wondering, like, what you should be doing, as far as, like, a career, if you're, like, a little bit lost in 2016, anything with leadership abilities, managing people, any of that, anything spiritual type positions, and anything having to do with the brain, you can become very successful with this card in those fields. Next, you have the Eight of Hearts, which is a card of, it's like, well, some people call it gift from the universe, but, I don't really look at it as a gift because, well, it is. You always did something to earn this, whatever it is, whatever comes to you. So it can be some gifts coming to you, some things happening, like some situations happening. Like if you've been single for a really long time, it could be like a situation comes along where you can meet somebody who's really important to you, who you end up being with for a really long time. And the gifts that this card brings would be the situations that allow that to happen. I know it's a little convoluted, but that's what the card represents. Is kind of like those little things. And same thing with a job. It can just kind of make the right things happen to get you a job. But you did earn this in the past in some way by building good karma or anything, or something along those lines. With the eights, you have two eights, by the way. And eights reward hard work, so the harder you work this year, the more benefits you will see. So just know that. And the same thing goes with love. This is a love card, so with the eights and the tens, which it seems like, I gotta be honest, it seems like a work year for everybody. Like almost for every sign I've read for, there's been a strong focus on needing to work for what we want. The good news is, as I said it in the December 2015 videos, is that it's like the universe is flooding us with a bunch of opportunities. That was a big year and a big word in the December readings, is opportunity. And it's like those opportunities are there, but if you don't take action on those opportunities, nothing's going to happen. So people really need to focus on working on what they want this year. And again, that goes not just work, but it goes for other areas of your life as well. But you could do some damage, like I say. You could really make some stuff happen with a card like this. Finally, you have the Seven of Diamonds. Worried about money. It's a card of worrying about money when you don't need to as well. Frequently, I tell a story like you could have $10 million in the bank and, and you're still worrying about money. And it's because you're pulling on these old money fears that you have that no longer serve you. So let those fears go. Stop worrying about money. Stop pulling on, like I said, those old money fears. Stop pulling on those old situations. And frequently, with this card, things can happen that look the same as something really scary that happened in the past. But again, we're in a totally different time. So this card just simply says you don't need to worry about it. And you know what? Seven of Diamonds is a card that always wants to be an 8. It wants to step up. And if we do that, then you'll have 3 8s in the deck, in your reading, by the way. But the Seven of Diamonds always wants to be successful, wants to kind of go up or down. It would even go down to a 6. Like I say, if the cards had feelings, the odd-numbered cards would want to be even numbers. So with this card, it's just a little bit of work. Removing some of those fears, you could really make it go up to an 8 and end more positively. So thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free, again, to watch the other 2 videos for your sign, and thank you.